Hello guys, welcome to Ride VP the Ratchet channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at silly Uber ride offers. This is my last day of working for Uber using Tesla rental. I'll be giving it back tomorrow, so I decided to record a video like this to commemorate my days of working for Uber. Not saying I'm leaving forever, I'm just like not fond of renting anymore at these current prices, which absolutely make no sense. So I started taking like lots of screenshots. That way I could go back and just share with you guys. And this is screenshots for basically today only. Wow, there's like a lot more than I thought it was. But there's all these different screenshots. And what I could... This is like from today, guys. Seriously. There's just basically a bunch of terrible ride offers. So basically, before we begin, I first want to, tell you guys, man, any of you guys that bought a car to do this, I really feel bad for you because ride offers are a bit ridiculous now, to say the least. And based on your comments that I've been getting in the comment section, that even Uber Black is getting paid less. So I'm like, whoa, they're getting paid less and less and less. And on top of that, now they want even newer cars for Uber Black. So it seems like, I don't know why, but it seems like it just doesn't make any sense when it comes to these prices here. Now, this particular one here, this ride offer, was probably the best one of the whole day, but still short of $1 per mile. Every single one of them is like ridiculous like this. Like, look at it, like 18 miles for $10. So I'll just keep getting them. So let's do this. Let's take a look at this most recent offer, and we'll just go back with pictures, and we're just gonna take a look at the current prices, like what they really mean. So I'm gonna start off by saying, keep in mind that on your taxes you could write off 65.5 cents per mile. Okay, that means IRS thinks and understands that that's the cost of doing business for you, because you're not just looking at fuel alone, but you have the purchase of the vehicle, all your payments, the insurances, the depreciation of the vehicle, getting that vehicle serviced, getting that vehicle fueled. You're paying the insurance on it, you're paying the taxes on it, the registration on it, the plates on it. And on top of that, you might have some major breakdowns. So with that out of the way, you have to keep that in mind, okay? So if you're doing a mileage, standard mileage deduction for 2023, it is 65.5 cents. So just to make it easier, we're just gonna, it's not gonna really make it easier, but I'm just gonna times everything by 65 cents. So let's take a look at this trip right here. 18 miles, okay, for $10.78. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this, and we'll go back to this picture. So 18 miles times by 0.65. So if I wanted to do 0.65 cents, I'll just add like another 5. So that's why, like, it's not really easy. I just have to type in like one less number. So in that case, the cost of doing business is $11.79. They're paying $10.78. Oh my gosh, so much stuff going on. Yeah. I just need to recalculate this because I'm thinking, is this even right? Yeah, it was correct. Here's more ride offers. Here's another one here. Just gonna take a screenshot and say no. Okay, so 11, oh my gosh. Just so much stuff going on. There's this one. I'm gonna say no to it because it's just dumb. All right, so $11.75 is going to be your cost of doing business, and they're paying $10.78. That's just ridiculous. Well, look at that. Like, this is a perfect time to make this video. Like, all of this ride offers is coming in at once. Let's take a look at this 1242 here. That's like 17, that's 20. Oh, that's almost 21 miles. So 21 miles. 21 miles times by 0.655. So cost of doing business is $13.75. They're paying $12.42. So at this point, you could obviously see Uber has become a charity organization, except we, the drivers, are providing the charity work at our expense, because now you are technically doing charity. On top of that, it's actually costing you money. So charity normally would be you're just providing your time, right? But this is actually costing you money. So now you have essentially became what's the word that rich people use when they're just donating all kinds of money. Yeah, I forgot. But anyways, let's take a look at this one, 605. So that's technically 7 miles. 7 miles times by 0.655. So cost of doing business is $4.58. Wow, priority. You better get this. You better get this. $1.32 included. No thanks. Priority. Wow. Priority. So 605 is what they're paying. $4.58. That's what it's going to cost. So in this situation, it's not so bad, right? But that's what I said about this particular one. This was like the best offer yet out of all of them. So that one's actually paying okay. I just don't want to do that short run. Part of the reason is like the deadhead is too far compared to where the distance is going. And here's the problem. At the end of the year, Uber's going to send you for your taxes how many miles that you do that year. So they're only going to include the 3.9 mile trip. And they're not going to even include the 3 mile trip. So unless you have that already written down and you keep track of your miles, Uber's not keeping track of that 3 miles up top, deadhead. Nowhere. So it's going to say you did 3.9 miles and you made $6.05. So it's going to seem like you're actually making pretty good money. Look at this one. So not gonna take that. But here's what we're going to do. Here's what. We got another request. Okay. Just lots of stuff happening at once. So 1991. Another right offer. Look at all those right offers except nobody wants to pay. So 28.6. So that's going to be 29, 37. 37 miles trip. 37 mile trip. So cost of doing business, $24.23. They're offering $19.91. Look at that. That's the one that just now came in. Here's this trip. Feels like I just calculated this one. They were paying more on, and now they're paying less on. This is what I was like telling you guys before, that what are these trips? Our pay is not based on anything no more. Look at this, 508, 3 miles away, 3.9 trip, 3.9 trip. Isn't this the same trip? No, not this one. What is this? Right here. Look at that. You see that? 3 miles away, 3.9. So I said not to take this one, and it's 605, right? And so here's another ridiculous one. We're just going to say no to it. I'm just like wondering, South Boulevard. So that's the pickup. South Boulevard is the pickup. Yeah, South Boulevard. It's exactly the same trip. So if algorithm is actually even learning anything, it should have offered me more money for this trip. Instead, it's offering me less. How is that possible? It's just ridiculous nowadays that the trips are actually not based on anything like whatsoever. They're just not. Can you believe this? I'm just gonna let's just take a look at the same one of you. I think it's this one right here. Look at that. You could clearly see it's the same customer. Same customer. They were paying more I said no. Now they're paying less. They're paying $1 less. And then, you know, on top of it, guys, what's kind of strange? On top of it is I'm in a Tesla. They're telling me that supposedly, right, I'm getting that dollar incentive. This app has, I cannot, I have like no access to the top. I can't do nothing unless I shut the app off. I'm trying to go to my earnings. Okay, now it's back. So this is what I'm talking about. I just did this trip right here, okay? 453. This is what I was going to tell you. Look at that. Zero emissions incentive, which is a complete joke. I'm not really getting that. This is just a made up type of thing. They're just fudging the numbers a little bit. Look, 453, that is the upfront fare, which is not fair. And they're telling me that I'm getting it because I'm getting $1 incentive. So it's like, do they mean to tell me this trip really would have been $3.53? 453. Let's see if I could even find this trip in here. 453, because I started making a video. I actually was recording at the time. And then I got a phone call and it messed everything up. 453 right here. Okay, I'll actually take this one. Finally, they offered me something. So 453, look at that. 0.09 away, 1.9 mile trip. This is why I took it. But let's see if they tell me that like I actually did close to 3 miles. So I'll just do navigate on there. Let's just look at that last trip. It says distance 1.9 miles. Interesting. So that is new. I did not notice this before. So it looks like, oh yeah. That's it. 1.9 mile trip. Okay, that's not new. So they're only taking into account the actual trip that you're doing, not you going on the way to pick up a rider. So they're only including the actual trip that you did once you picked the person up. So 453 is what they were offering. And in this particular case, of course, the trip is paying slightly more than $1 a mile. But still, some of these trips, they don't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, so it's time for me to go do this trip. So technically, if I stick around and I work my full shift, I could actually complete like an additional 13 trips and I'll make like $50 bonus. I did select the bonus this week. So this is for like the regular work week. Let me just turn these windshield wipers slower because they're just way too loud. Yeah, I'm just a little bit exhausted when it comes to these type of fares, guys, because that $50 is not much of a deal for 50 trips that I had to do initially. I just need 13 more, so this would be included. So it does benefit me somewhat to take shorter trips, but not when they're not paying anything. So getting back to the $1 zero emission incentive, guys, that's completely bogus. It's so fake because our pay is no longer based on anything. Like I showed you that one trip, that same trip, they were offering me $6.05. Now it's like, well, like $5.05. But regardless, we're missing $1. So it's like, what happened to my $1 zero emission incentive on that one? So do they mean to tell me that particular trip that I was talking to you guys about would be actually not $5, but actually like $4, you know, or $5 in the case like when they offer it the first time? The amount of money they're willing to pay for that trip actually went down. And that is with time. The person's like waiting to be picked up, and now they're offering less for that same trip. While you could clearly see it's kind of busy right now. Like lots of requests are coming in, yet they don't want to pay nothing. But anyways, I will be recording more videos like this because trying to record a video while requests are coming in and looking at pictures in my phone of the actual trips at the same time, try to calculate these things and then look at the right offers. It's a little bit distracting, probably not easy to follow. It is easy to follow for me because that's how my mind works. I'm able to focus on like multiple things at the same time. Probably came from ADHD, self-diagnosed, of course. I used to not be able to pay attention on nothing. I had the most difficult time when it came to paying attention in school early on. But then somehow my mind adapted, and now it's sort of like a superpower. I'm able to pay attention like all over the place, which is a gift and a curse all at the same time, which means I want to do a lot of different things in my life, and you should only have like one simple focus, which brings me to why I'm doing Uber instead of just focusing on my business that makes me more money to begin with. But either way, I'm in the process of building it a little bit, and I can't really do nothing in the week when it's raining. But that doesn't explain the fact that I wasted so much time working for Uber to begin with, or Lyft. Except that when I first started, I was making so good, like the income was so good. I made, I mean, it's almost kind of like, I'm ashamed to say, I made 6 figures last year and six figures the year before, while doing 2 apps at the same time, Uber and Lyft. And the reason I am ashamed to say is because it's probably not as good as it sounds like, because I've really worked a lot and I accepted a lot of garbage too. So if you ask me, why am I ashamed? Because I don't got that money sitting around. I don't have nothing to show for it, because as I shared with you guys earlier, it's the cost of doing business. IRS is not dumb. They know what they're doing. They're not just going to let you do a write-off and allow you to pay them less taxes or no taxes if in reality you actually made that money. Because I actually like literally have like nothing left over at the end of the year. The only money that I actually do have is from my other side hustles that I do, but not from Uber and Lyft. This is like paycheck to paycheck type of deal. This money just comes and goes. It's like at this point I'm paying for the rental, but before I was paying for all the car service, car maintenance, the purchase of a car, cost of keeping it fueled, and the insurance, and your money's gone. So you're better off just getting yourself a better job. This is definitely a good in between type of job situation, but by no means a job. Like still kind of like a failing business, if you could call it that. But anyways, guys, see you later. Bye bye.